Welcome back to Switch to Linux. I hope you guys are all wearing your masks, particularly those made of grapefruit, because frankly, this is the best mask ever. Now, let me know if you can actually understand me, but I gotta say, this is an interesting thing. And I imagine that you probably can't hear me well. So, can you hear me okay? Can you hear me okay? Yeah, no, I don't know. Yeah, $1,000, right up to $2,000. I'll sell both of them to you for $1,500. It is a deal. After we get that, make sure you get yourself some unicorn meat and be very, very safe. All right, well, I'm pleased to announce that the grapefruit mask does indeed work, and we went full-fledged redneck style. We got grapefruit. I put 2 slices around the edge after I ate my grapefruit, get my vitamin C for the day because you need some vitamin C. And then I just kind of did 2 slices near the bottom. Throw a long zip tie down there in the middle, and then I put 2 more zip ties on the other end. This is a redneck mask. And if I have to go into public, I may as well just wear this, because we look this ridiculous all the time, people. All the time. I was out running last night, and I saw somebody at 11:30 at night wear a mask to take trash to the dumpster. I don't get it. Well, that was exciting. Let's go ahead and dive on into the news, shall we? Where'd my title go? There we are. We are in the Weekly News Roundup. How is everybody's Friday going along? Where'd my comments go? There we are. All right. It's like, it smells nice. I mean, it's pretty good smell, but, you know. Nem Game Boy, how's it going there? And the kitties say, meow. 40 years after high school, I'm catching up with why I didn't take those courses back then. Let's see. Everyone has hope. Everyone is doing okay right now. Greetings, everyone. Apparently, I can't read today either. Quentin Berkeley has bricked the phone today. That's not good. Let's see. How can they trace you on a bricked phone? They can't. You know. Got Manjaro KDE set up on as a third OS on the old boot drive alongside Windows 8.1 and MX Linux. It runs nicely on a newly created 600 gigabyte partition. It will be a slow setup process, a few weeks to complete. Very good. All right, bought a second Essential phone and wiped some system files. Sam McLeod is over there on Discord. If you'd like to jump on a Discord, tlm.li/STLD. Kitty is just massive on a 120-inch screen. Absolutely, you know. You know what else? Who else would love that thing on a kitty on a 120-inch screen? Elf. That's right. So far, stable so far, though one game caused the menu text to go goofy. Remove that application. There you go. All right. But I stand 6 feet apart. Okay, it was probably GTK application which had compatibility issues. All right. Best mask ever. Can hear now. Yep. Yes, we hear you. Kind of. Yes, sir. Not really. All right. Let's see. Oh, they were grapefruit. Thought it was a mango. No, I mean, a mango doesn't have the rigidness that you need. A grapefruit, though. Very nice. They come in small sizes, like, you know, your smaller oranges, and then they got the grapefruit for the kind of medium, and you can get a pomelo if you need something really big, but yeah. What are you trying to say? Are you on Alex Jones level? That's right. I'm gonna eat your... Never mind. We're not gonna complete that sentence. If you missed that Alex Jones clip, guys, it is worth hunting down that Alex Jones clip where he's talking about his post-apocalyptic 3 years out, when he runs out of food, he is literally going to string up, degut, and eat his neighbors. It was very graphic and not out of context on his show. Very good stuff. Add that to the boot systems partition reported errors. There you go. Okay, using ungoogled Chromium. All right. Oh, looks stupid. That's right. Yep, that's what I was going with. I need a 16K kitty videos. Oh boy. Switching from Mint to a distro called Blue Star Linux. Is it like Red Star? I don't know. Wish I could move Elf's home planet of Melmac. Move to Elf's home planet of Melmac. Yeah, I got my spot on Mars. But of course, we're trying to actively sabotage that Starlink because we do not need Elon Musk coming out to Mars. He's doing enough damage to your planet. Let's see. Breeze Chameleon icon is cool. What do you call config Linux install? I mean partitions in early settings. Wait, what do you mean? Config Linux install, I mean partitions and early settings. I have no idea what you're talking about. He's in Texas. Yeah, there you go. I did hear a fun joke that all of the property value around Alex Jones' house will drop it on Zillow. A pomegranate mask. I don't know. That'd be an interesting one to try as well. Man is weird and crazy. Absolutely. Absolutely. We got some mint tea today. I went with another caffeinated tea today because I plan on being up too late in the morning. There's a small chance I will not stream tomorrow. 50-50. I've been getting to sleep about 4:35 in the morning every day this week while I work on a lot of my own stuff and have an extra load of client work. So there's a chance there won't be a stream tomorrow. I just don't know. So check the channel tomorrow. I might take the day off. I might not. I couldn't tell you. When I went to Bohemian Grove. When install OS. Okay. I'm already crazy based on research alone. Scheduling updates weekly with time shift backups. There you go. Very good. Go sleep at 5 a.m. Yeah, I mean, and I'm trying to get up early, and I've had early morning meetings half of this week, so I'm certainly lacking sleep this week, so we'll see. And then I'm trying to get the rest of the audiobook knocked out. For you guys on following the Synaptergy stuff, I did send out a Synaptergy newsletter email. So if you signed up to the email newsletter list and did not get that, check your junk mail. I think that my server will send about half of the Gmails out there to the junk mail. So go ahead and double check that. We pushed the release date of the book back to the 19th so that I can hopefully finish the audiobook stuff, or at least finish narrating the audiobook, even if I don't have it completely done yet. And then I think we're going to be doing probably early next week. We're going to do a live stream on Writing Done Right as I finalize the interior design and the book cover stuff. And then we'll be about ready to start pushing it out. So that's kind of what we're doing with on Synaptergy. So if you have signed up to the Synaptergy newsletter list and you did not receive the email, check your junk. And if you are not on that, or you haven't been over to the website lately, I added the audiobook sample audio, and the first chapter is on there. So if you'd like to get more information, I put the link in there in the chat. All right, you should sleep. Streams can be delayed or canceled. Yeah, it depends on if I get up tomorrow early enough to have a stream, I'll have one for sure. But if I happen to be like, hey, I need to stay in stay in bed a little longer, then we'll go ahead and cancel it, because I don't want to do it later in the day either. I like to not be on the computer all day Saturday. So I'd like to test the ROM of a working build. Possibly, very soon. So I need to test out EOS next. They've been asking me to do that, and I haven't done it yet. So I want to test out EOS, and then after that, I'll give yours a try. And Jaro has medium difficulty. Quick question: is forwarding my Gmail to the Proton Mail safe? Well, Gmail still gets all of the information as it's passing through, and so that is, in that respect, not really if you're using it as a primary email address. All right, let's go ahead and dive on into the news, shall we? So grab yourself some unicorn meat and let's jump on into the news. We have privacy, we have business, dystopia, and Sillyville. We had a lot of Sillyville this week. I almost had to cut Sillyville, which is kind of sad. What am I on? I'm on Pro Writing Aid, huh? Pro Writing Aid intro. All right. Where's my privacy stuff? There we are. Let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Welcome back to Switch to Linux. This is the Weekly News Roundup and the Privacy Edition. These are recorded live Fridays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time if you'd like to jump around and catch the show live. Before we dive on in, I want to bring attention to my affiliate link for Pro Writing Aid. I am an author, and if you are an author or do any type of writing, and you're like, Grammarly might be too normy for me, definitely look at Pro Writing Aid. They've been privacy from the beginning. Very good services. They have a monthly subscription for $20 a month, a yearly subscription for $63 a year, or a lifetime at $239. And if you use my promo code, then actually I think these are the rates at the 20% off. So the promo code tlm.li/PWA will get you 20% off versus if you go right onto Pro Writing Aid's website directly. So if you are interested in that service, definitely check out that link and those services. So let's go ahead and dive on into the privacy news. And first, yet another instance of a hacking situation where it wasn't necessarily a vulnerability. It was, hey, finding the weakest link in the chain. And in this case, this was Roblox. A hacker bribed a Roblox insider in order to access user data. If you read through this article, they actually got access to all the email addresses, the passwords. They were able to toggle off two-factor authentication. So basically they got in there, they got your email, all account details, anything else you had in there, turned off two-factor authentication, and changed the password and locked you out. So that is yet another instance of, even if we do trust that the company is, going to have good security, we can't necessarily trust that their company's data is going to be secure when a hacker comes on in and says, hey, let's go ahead and pay you $1 million to give up data. Because I got news for you. If you're sitting there at a low-level employee and you're getting paid, close to minimum wage, and some hacker's like, hey, give you $50,000 if you let me into that database for an hour. Yeah, sure, why not, man? And then, so that's kind of the stuff that we see. And this is just yet another example of company data being abusable, because the company employees obviously had access to this data and they opened up and gave a hacker this access for a payment. So just a reminder, be very, very cautious about the data. And this is why I think that even if a company has the best privacy policy and is really committed to it, they should still only be collecting the minimum amount of data needed to provide the service, because of situations like this. All right, so iOS 13.5 can automatically share your medical ID in an emergency call. So this is adding into the medical portion of the Apple devices, where you have your smartphone and you set up maybe contact information. You might set up allergies and things. You can kind of see it on the screen here, where they have the setup here. This is the this person is an organ donor. They're sharing emergency calls and lock screen information. Medical conditions, has congestive heart failure, allergies, penicillin and peanuts, medications, gives you the various medications. This is useful information, granted. And as long as this is an opt-in exclusive thing, I'm okay with this. But it does beg this question that the way this is going to work is there is proximity regions that a medical office, a doctor's office, a hospital, or a police agent can have with them that will unlock this data for the phone. So you go in and put this in. Now Apple can say, hey, if you have this particular item, you can scan the phone, bring it within proximity to the phone, and the phone will share a lot of medical data. It's only a matter of time before that information can potentially be abused. Can this help save lives? Absolutely. You get into a bike crash or something with your phone and nobody really knows who you are, then a first responder shows up and says, oh, we already know the medications, we already know the issues. This is a very good beneficial thing in the one respect. I am leery about the concern that the information could be overused or overabused. So take that at what you may. There are absolutely some positives, and there's a few negatives in this that I think are worthy of consideration. So I don't know, let me know what you think about that one. Further, if you have a Tesla, and I did record, I did not get a chance to watch the video yet, but TechLore had another video on Tesla this week, where apparently they are basically talking about not collecting data, and he's like, what are you talking about? Well, this hacker buys old Tesla parts, and the real clitcher of this is these parts were allegedly factory wiped by the actual user prior to selling the parts out. So basically they wipe the car, send it out to junk. Hacker buys the old Tesla parts on eBay and finds them completely full of user data. Data can be retrieved even after owners perform a factory reset, say the researchers. So these Teslas collect way too much information. Geo information, location, speed data. It wouldn't surprise me if they have little microphones recording the things that are said. You know, down in most of the states, these boxes are recording what you have to say in the car. Almost every state before a fatal accident, it was, oh crap, you know, except down in Texas, hey, y'all hold my beer and watch this, you know. But anyway, all of the data that Tesla actually has involved in their systems, all of this data, you can actually just pick up by grabbing old Tesla parts and knowing what you're doing with it. So you guys getting your Tesla cars, sure, they might be cool and flashy and amazing, but they are absolute data hogs sucking up data, and you're not getting that data back off. All right, next. Clearview. Clearview is back in the news. It has promised to cancel all relationship with private companies, but it's still going to sell its entire network database of facial ID information that was collected without knowledge or consent and in violation of terms and conditions of individual websites. And with that, it said it's still selling this to every customer who's not either associated with, not is or associated with. In other words, contractors of law enforcement can still get it. I'm going to contract with the law enforcement to sweep the floors, and then I'll gain access to the information and then grab the information and sell it to a third party. Nobody would possibly do that. But if you're not associated with law enforcement or some other federal, state, or local government office or agency, they're not going to sell to you anymore. But all of this information that has been effectively illegally collected is fair game for all of them. So I know that makes you all feel very, very wonderful and warm and fuzzy inside, and that nothing would ever potentially, possibly, ever in a million billion years go wrong. But hey, that's what they're doing. They care about our privacy. All right. And that's from BuzzFeed News. All right, so our final article of the day. Here is how Apple and Google will warn you if you have been exposed to COVID-19. Now, what is going on here is that this is the contact tracing. Now, understand this. Google and Apple are not working on a contact tracing app. They're working on a contact tracing API. The API is the thing that connects to apps. And while Google or Apple in and of itself may not directly be connected, because people are saying, oh, this is private, this is safe. Hey, they have a commitment to not, Apple says we have a commitment to not accepting privacy. I'm looking for where they're lying. Google says it, I just know they're lying. I don't even need to look for it. But we have to understand, this is not an app. This is an API. The API ties into an app developed by other third-party groups. So the actual copy that you receive, there's copy to be provided by your public health officials, because it's the public health officials that are sending out the notifications and the information. So bear that in mind, that while Google and Apple may be doing this saying we're not collecting data, it's a smokescreen for those who are. Remember that. So as we go through, we're kind of going into some of the stuff that we've already done. You can install the app. You can enable the notifications. So here is a iPhone screen of it. Your iPhone can securely collect and share random IDs. App can use these to notify you if you've been exposed. The data, duration, and signal strength of exposure will be shared with a, quote, sample public health authority app. Now, that, quote, sample health public authority app, that is the actual name of the application that is actually doing the data collection and things. And we know that that can't possibly be spying on us. Here you can notify others and share your test results to notify others. And this guy over here, I think this is the Android version of it. So we have an Android version. Oh, here's some possible exposures. So you can get app notifications to try and make you more paranoid. Guys, understand this. I want you to understand the entire intention of all this is to make you paranoid. This is to make you paranoid. Stop being paranoid. Stop living in fear. Oh, person's diagnosis is verified. Oh my God, I was near this person. Ah! Even in a medical situation, according to the peer-reviewed real medical research in actual real journals, even in medical situations, your chance of getting it is extremely low. I'm not saying it's not virulent. What I'm saying is that this is all designed to scare you. Now, here's the conditions of using it. Apps must be created by or for. Understand, by or for. What is more incompetent? A third-party contractor creating an app for a government or the government contracting it itself? We just have a paradox of insanity. Neither of those are particularly good. All right, and can only be used for this particular disease response efforts until the next response comes up and we just turn everything back on again, of course. Apps must require full user consent before they can use the exposure notification API. Apps must require users to consent before sharing a positive test result and diagnosis keys associated with their device and public health authority. So information is being shared with public health authorities. Apps should collect, going back to the first article we did, should only collect the minimum amount of data necessary and can only use that data for response to this infection. All other uses of the data included targeted advertising is not permitted. So when have people never used data that is collected for any other source? You know the protocol. The modus operandi for our society, as foolish as it may be, is, hey, it's easier to ask forgiveness than it is to ask permission. So we're just going to go ahead and abuse and use and do bad things with the data all that we want. And when we're finally caught, we'll just pay the little fine because we've made 10 times more money than it actually cost us. All right. Apps are prohibited from seeking permissions to access location services. Yeah, we'll just use Bluetooth and Wi-Fi and cell tower pinging location just the same. All right, we just won't get that fine-tuned GPS. Our use of API will be restricted to one app per country to promote higher user adoption and avoid fragmentation. If a country has opted for a regional or state approach, the companies are prepared to support these authorities. I, for one, do not trust this system. That's my thoughts and my take on it because there's too much potential for abuse. Okay, way too much potential for abuse. And so in that respect, I am very leery about this. Yes, I understand that we have to take a little bit extra precaution, but this is not SARS. This is not this is not Ebola. Okay, this is a situation where we are being panic-stricken in order to give up more data. And I say stand firm. Don't stand stupid, just stand firm. That's my thought. Let me know your thoughts on all this in the comments down below. Alrighty. I think I realized that I was supposed to drop a file onto my desktop here, and I forgot to do it. So let me go and let me track down a file from my network. Then I'm going to get back to the comments here. I had to get somebody to send me an article. I think it's not for this news section. It's for the next news section, but I forgot to drop it in place. All right, over on Discord, we got Sam McLeod's over there. World of Linux. Greeting, Quint Berkeley. Hello, over there. Sam McLeod going to love when Sillyville is brought up. All right. You know what I really hate about Roblox? You can't delete your account. Ooh, that's not cool at all. All right. Where are you at? You are right here. Oh, really? Wait. Crap. I put the docx on my system, not my PDF. Excuse me. I need to create a PDF. All right. Hold on. Okay. Export as PDF. Jeesh. I'm lacking organization today, apparently. There we are. Now we're all set. All right. Not logged in on YouTube and watching live. All right. Let's see, quick question is, okay, we've already covered that one. What are your thoughts on Fedora? Overall, I like Fedora. I think it's pretty good. I don't use it for production, but there you go. AOR repos are a mixed bag. Yes, I agree. Is Adrian coughing? What? Oh, Adrian is coughing. Oh, man. Adrian, stop spreading the virus, man. In 2016, let's see. Welcome to 2016. All right. Okay. Indian, the Roblox guy, but who cares? Roblox is not for Linux, yeah. Hackers are becoming bored during the pandemic. I don't think so. Actually, company malware is way up. In fact, I've noticed a massive uptick in PDF attachments, fake invoice attachments. Massive uptick. I don't know if the rest of you guys have or not. Okay, let's see. I used to have an old account, but I haven't used that in Google account in ages. Roblox guy paid just $500. Wow. Never used medical ID, yeah. I use the emergency information feature in Android. All right. Yeah, as long as it's your choice and it doesn't keep on annoying you, I'm okay with it being there. As long as I'm allowed to leave it blank. Tesla's like Windows. When you delete stuff, it isn't completely deleted. Yeah. Tesla's run into medians and fire trucks. That's right. Small speaker indicator on the Chrome panel icon in Manjaro is new to you. Hello, Anna Rita. Greetings. Google and Apple are just ripping off the Chinese functions, then they can blame China. Yeah. Android contact tracing API requires Google Play services. Well, that doesn't bode well. Google and Apple feel the need to do this. Hint, follow the money trail, yeah. Can you say just don't enable? Yes, that is the case. Now, as we covered, though, last week in the dystopia news, Australia is going to be prolonging the lockdown until they have a certain number of their population using the thing. Sleepy Eyes Vince, can you confirm that is still the case? Never forget about the word plandemic. I will make my decision when we get to the dystopian news if I will use the word plandemic or not. I did watch that Michael Moore film that Dan was telling me about the other day. I actually was not surprised by the content because Michael Moore is not of left-wing political positions as much as he is an anti-corporatist. And where the two would conflict, he's definitely going to take the anti-corporatist view. And so I was not surprised by the content of the documentary. But it was an interesting documentary worth watching. It was. Which, by the way, he was only the executive producer of it. It was Planet of the Humans. He's only the executive producer. He didn't write it, he didn't direct it, he didn't produce it. Somebody else pretty much did all the rest of it. And it was a guy who used to be a big green energy guy who has looked into it all and found, wow, there's too much corporations in here, and that's why Michael Moore produced it. How reliable is Nextcloud? My Nextcloud instance has been running for 3 years without a single problem. Outside of that time, I did something stupid to it, but I was able to fix it. Yeah, it is absolutely amazing. We'll enable this in public and watch phones count over 50. In time for the El Fugio. Hey, yep. I'm guessing you showed up probably near the tail end of the first round of news. I have no idea what Nextcloud offers as a hosted solution. I create my own account. I use Nextcloud on my servers is what I do with it. Okay, here's an idea. If they really want to help, donate $1 billion each to hospitals. There you go. There's a thought. Save to redirect email to... Okay, I've already addressed that question. If your email is relaying through Gmail to get to Proton Mail, no, Gmail has everything. If you're using Gmail as a boring catch-all for junk and then forwarding that junk to Proton Mail, you're a little bit safer in that. Donate a further $1 billion to each unemployment charities. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. Have mask will travel. All right, I got my mask on. Now we'll travel. All right, now that I'm masked up, fear is good to keep you alive. That's what it's there for. I think everything can be summarized in these 3 little words. Stallman was right. Medical IDs on iOS. Doesn't annoy you? As long as I have the option to say, no, turn it off, and never ask me again, I don't have a problem with it. I like solutions. I really like solutions, okay? That's a solution. It's solving a legitimate problem. I understand the issue. I personally will adopt the risk over the potential abuse. And so let me have my risk. I will let you have your security. I'm okay with that. Let's just not impose each other's ideals on one another. Kind of lost me eating foot skin or whatever he was doing. Yeah, you know. No, it's not. Try to app downloads. We have a plan to get the country largely open. No, it's not. It's not tied to app downloads anymore. Okay, thank you for that clarification, Vince. All right, so it is no longer tied to it. Okay. This cloud is pretty great. It only takes an hour or so to install. It's installing on an OS and then Nextcloud on top of that. Yeah. Catch a bit of the stream. Good evening to chat. Well, good evening to you as well, Ron. Got that vitamin C looking like a full-blown nut. That's right. High-quality mask from 2520 made by aliens. Only $1,000. That's right. Need a Donald Duck mask. All right. I didn't have enough Donald Duck voice in there, did I? That sounded like Donald Duck on rabies. Oh, God. I can't do Donald Duck anymore. I used to be able to do that. No, I don't know. Well, my friends today were encouraging me to try the underwear mask. That's going a little too far. Sorry, guys, you don't get a chance to see my underwear. Get RMS involved in a discussion on C19. I don't know. Bare bones of Stallman's was spot. Okay. Was Stallman hit on a cure for the virus? Maybe eating toenails and toe jam is the vaccine. Do Linux users ever have access to bras to make a mask? Probably not. Oh boy. Let's see. Nothing new over there on Discord. Manjaro or Linux Mint? Linux Mint all the way, man. Trying to eat your lunch, barf. Sorry, Vince. So I saw a bra once in a shopping catalog. All right, we're having too much fun. We got to jump on into the business news, shall we? Welcome back to the Weekly News Roundup. This is the business edition. Before we dive on in, I want to remind you about Mint Mobile. If you are frustrated with your cellular service and you're looking for a change, Mint Mobile is a good prepaid plan. It saves you a lot of money because you buy a few months up in advance. So you can buy for like, in my case, I do 3 months at a time, only cost me $15 a month, which is amazingly cheap because the old plan, which had less data than I get now, was $60 a month, and that was about as cheap as I could go with Verizon. So this saved me a boatload of money. So definitely check that out, tlm.li/mm. And let's go ahead and dive on into the news, shall we? All right, so first, EU website says that website content can't be hidden behind cookie walls. Like, at least the EU is now starting to re-examine the portion of GDPR that made 0 sense. Like, I love a lot of elements of GDPR. Their cookie stuff has just created a giant nightmarish annoyance of giant all-screen, adopt your cookies before you see anything. No, I don't want to. All right, I want you to no. I want no cookies at all outside the very bare minimum. Give me a single button for that and I'll consider clicking it. All right. But now they're starting to say, maybe we did a stupid job with all the cookies, with the cookie nonsense that we have created with our policy. And now they're starting to walk back some of the GDPR stuff, making sure that sites can actually have accessible content, even if you choose not to consent to have any or whatever amount of cookies. So I've always liked some elements of GDPR while completely saying other ones are really stupid. The cookie policy is the absolute stupidest thing because the end user has the absolute control over the cookies in their computer. Just educate your sheep of people to figure out how to delete their cookies and tell them cookies can be dangerous. Cookies can track you. It's wise to delete your cookies. It's wise to set your browser to not allow third-party cookies. It's wise to be aware of ad trackers and the things that cookies can do, and it's wise to regularly delete them and regularly block cookies. That would have been a far better thing than what they did, giving you all these annoying pop-ups that led to the nightmare of the internet that we've all been experiencing for the last year or so since this first came out, where all of this cookie blocking pop-ups have been all over the place until you come on in and fix that. Whoa, this is not the green screen we're looking for. There it is. All right. So with that, what do you think? Have you been on board with the cookie law? Do you like what they're trying to do with the cookiness? And now I want a cookie. Man, I don't know. Software company is suing the government to avoid repaying the $750,000 PPP loan. So the PPP loan, was it the personal paycheck or something paycheck protection plan, whatever the first P is. Oh, paycheck protection program. Whatever it was. Apparently my brain doesn't work anymore. How can I not remember paycheck and protection and plan or program? So this is a California software company received $750,000 from the government, but then new guidelines came out, which basically would mean that, hey, this is all a loan. And guys, almost all of the people that took out all of this supposed forgivable, almost every bit of it is going to have to be paid back. This is why a lot of people were jumping out and going, oh my God, this is so good. Everybody should apply for this now. I actually had clients tell me I should apply for this. I'm like, no. What are you, crazy? I've read Genesis, that part where all of the people were broke and so they end up selling themselves as slaves to Pharaoh in Egypt. And it says there in Genesis, that's exactly how Pharaoh came to own all of the land and everybody were basically his slaves. No, I'm not participating. Sorry. But a lot of people were like, this is free money. This is excellent. Everybody should be applying for this. The end result is that banks actually made $12 billion in fees processing all of these loans, and most people cannot or will not or cannot meet the requirements, especially since the requirements shifted after everybody got it. It's like, here you go. It's a snap. It's a trap. Or we need that. The alien dude, right, from Star Wars. It's a trap. It's a trap. All right. And it is. So this software company is now suing the government to roll back the April 23rd changes, basically saying, hey, no, this money is forgivable because they took it out under the pretext that the money would be forgivable. So they're suing the government to try and make sure that they don't have to pay back any of their $750,000. Oh, man. I don't know. Check, please, a one out of the human race. Let me know what you think about that one. And speaking of crazy pop-ups, there you go. All right, Facebook says its Blender chatbot is the most human-like chatbot ever created. I'm reading through this, and I thoroughly, completely disagree. We got to wait for this thing to restart. All right, so how are you today? I'm good. How are you? Do you have a favorite food? Mine is lobster. Congratulations on a new promotion. What kind of work do you do? I work in software. There's another one on there. I'm sure they'll be very proud of you. What type of engineering work do you have? I do not know of anybody who possibly sends any messages that even resembles a human in any way, shape, or form. It says a sentence, asks a question, and then answers the question they just asked themselves. Nobody talks like that. What type of nonsense is this? This is not human-like. This is so purely robotic-like, it's not even funny. It's like, hey, Facebook bot, go jump off a cliff. I don't know. So for years, researchers have been attempting to build AI systems that can converse well and naturally with humans. So far, however, these efforts have only been successful in narrow and specialized pre-programmed tasks. They're saying this thing is good? No, it's not. This thing is horrible. It is a free and open source application, so those of us into FOSS programs can download Facebook's FOSS program and install it and see what you can do with it. I can only imagine what's going to happen when this thing lands its way on Twitter. Oh Lord, someone's going to turn it into the Fourth Reich leader, I guess. Just don't call it Tay. That'd be good. But anyway, yeah, I don't exactly see this being human-like at this point in time. It's too predictable. It says he answers a question or whatever. Oh, what kind of work do you do? I'm in software. What's your favorite food? Mine is lobster. Does anybody ever chat like that? I've never seen that in all my days. All right, last story of the day, free internet for all. This revolves around Comcast. Now, for you guys that have Comcast and are paying Comcast enough money in 3 months that you could go to the store and buy your own router that you don't have to keep on paying a monthly subscription fee to Comcast for, you guys that are using Comcast's modems actually have 2 wireless networks inside of your internet. So if you look for it, one of those is your wireless network for your house, and then the other one is a Comcast public Wi-Fi from Comcast. So what their plan is to have as many of their customers as possible using their own modems that's not only pushing out your Wi-Fi, but it's also pushing out a public Wi-Fi that other people that buy a special Comcast service, anywhere they go where they see a Comcast Xfinity internet, they can log in with their account and have internet wherever they go. So if I'm going to my friend's house and they have, Time Warner or whatever, but they're a jerk and will not let me on their internet, I could say, oh, his neighbor's got Comcast and I can log in there with my Xfinity, and now I'm bridging basically off of my friend's neighbor's internet. All of these internet routers are set up unless you explicitly have requested that they turn it off. I think you might be able to turn it off yourself at this point. But this is kind of their idea. Studies have actually demonstrated that these routers push out 30 times more power, or is it 30% more power, I should say. So 0.3 times more, 30% more power consumed in these, and they're pushing out this ultra high power wireless signal, which is probably not as healthy for you as a standard single low power network that you'd have that's just for your own home network, because these are really designed to bridge out and spread out as far as possible. Whereas yours, you don't want it spreading out as far as possible. You don't want your neighbor to try and get into your internet. So what happened is, Comcast, in light of all of this current shutdowns, Comcast has actually opened up several of the business internets to be freely available without such a Comcast account. So if a business happens to have Comcast, the business's Wi-Fi is now free and does not require the password. So it basically becomes open, free, public Wi-Fi. And that's never a bad idea. But what these senators, 3 U.S. senators, are urging Comcast to open all of the Wi-Fi spots to be public, free Wi-Fi. Why? So that all of the children in lower income houses that can't have internet are probably going to be in range of a Comcast router that does have internet. So then the idea is that Comcast, you can open this up and provide free public open air non-password access to the whole world through their systems. That is a security nightmare just waiting to happen. Now, Comcast is fighting back and saying, oh, no, we do not want that to happen because that will mess up our bandwidth issues. I don't want this to happen because that messes up security on the internet. It makes it infinitely worse than it already is. There's some bad stuff. But the fact is, so take home message here. Number one, if you have one of those Comcast routers, what is wrong with you? You're paying them $10 a month. A router, or I should say a modem that you can connect to Comcast that's compatible with Comcast is $60. Now, yes, you are going to need an extra router as well for another $60, but that actually means, let's see, 120, that's 1 year at $10 a month. In 1 year, you can own all of the equipment to use the internet with Comcast rather than paying Comcast every single month. I know it's like, we won't necessarily support that. Good. I don't want you to support it. I don't want you to do a lot of funky stuff behind the scenes. I don't want you to have access because, by the way, they can see every device that's on your network if you are using their router. But if you're going for a modem bridged onto your own separate router, they can't see everything that's on that. That's the level of control you're giving them. And so if you do happen to have one of those and you can't hook up your own, absolutely disable that public Wi-Fi. Not only is it pushing more stuff out, but it's also giving Comcast more of what they want. And that's a little on the scary side. I think Comcast has enough. So let me know your thoughts to this and the other stories in the comments down below. The kitty has left. I don't know where the kitty is. The kitty has left the building. World of Linux is laughing about Facebook over there on Discord. Thank you, Clean937, for that super chat. Always appreciate that, my friend. Alrighty, let's see. Linux meant for life. There you go. Don't let Goofy go gangsta on you, yo. All right. Depends if you want more stability. All right. Sponsor time. That's right, man. Hey, I got to pay my bills. Hey, YouTube carried me through the pandemic, man. My income went down initially. It's gone back up because people are like, I need my website fixed because we were getting too much traffic. So I'm actually have more work to do now than I have in the past. But even that's not as much as I would like. But in the initial time, YouTube carried me on, man. Well, I should say YouTube and these supporters. So thank you guys very much for helping me make it through the craziness. Mint Mobile was promoted by the actor who plays on Deadpool. I believe that's the case. Some famous guy got into there, did some stuff. Yep, I saw that. Alrighty, let's see. TLM, mostly owned by Deadpool, the Canadian. Love it. There you go. Have control of updates in a rolling distro like Manjaro and KDE Neon. Yep. He hates on the one who provides support to himself. It's hard to find middle ground. Yep. Okay, we're getting in that moment where I want to talk about food, but everyone's talking about cybersecurity. Oh boy. Better be chocolate cookies. Actually, I had planned to make cookies like every day this week, and I have not had a chance. Tomorrow, the cookies are getting made, people. So the question is, do I do peanut butter cookies, or I do have butterscotch chips. I can do butterscotch chip cookies too. I don't know what I want to do yet. A good stream. Why, thank you, Nathan. It's a trap! Does anyone know how to install Windows 8.1 with Secure Boot? It should install with Secure Boot automatically, honestly. Just make sure Secure Boot is enabled in your BIOS. I've never seen a case where it did not do that. But I also don't install Windows a lot, so don't ask me. Imagine a local wireless network where everybody is connected. Hackers will have lots of fun. Yep. The local neighborhood hackers taking control of everybody's computer. They can't figure out why everybody's computer within 30 feet of this guy's house is broken. Many businesses would prefer to owe the government forever than beat them out of money. Thank you again for the super chat. Install 8.1, enable Secure Boot. Yeah, I think that's all you need to do. Pictured Blender running a web client like Facebook opened in 3D model. Yeah, I was thinking that guy. Yeah, Blender, it's a dude sitting there. What's up, man? Oh, that's cool. Tell me more about that. Oh, yeah. What is your favorite food? Yeah, I really like lobster, too. Yeah, see, that's how you make a bot. I think a modem is a oh no, it's a Motorola. Yeah, my modem is a Motorola. Well, it's like Arius or whatever, which was Motorola. Cut Facebook some slack. Zuckerberg is still learning how to be a real boy. But he's a robot. That should be an easily updatable program. Can you play as Rome Burns? Why not? By your own router, yep. Enable Secure Boot, install 8.1, disable Secure Boot, install whatever. There you go. You can turn off the hotspot on the Comcast website. Yeah, that's right. You log into your Comcast account online and toggle it off from there, which is totally a secure way to go. If they want to make it really good, you go directly into the local network. Not cross the internet to adjust a thing that's 3 feet from your computer. Someone cracks those routers and any random person can access your LAN. Yep. That would be the concern. Router is Huawei. Oh boy. He segregates the hotspot in a different VLAN and isolates the traffic. Yes, it does. It does isolate the traffic. I believe it's on an the traffic is isolated. I still wonder how isolated. So if some pervert gets on there and starts downloading nasty stuff on the internet, I wonder if that still traces back to my router specifically. That's the last thing I need is some FBI kicking in my door because my neighbor's a pervert. In news for anyone in Toronto, Google has canceled their plans for making the smart city. Is that just because of the pandemic? PayPal still didn't help me to withdraw money from PayPal to Visa card. Oh boy. Butterscotch. All right, we got 2 votes for butterscotch chip cookies. Any peanut butter takers? Use Arch, by the way. Thanks to SwitchedTolinux, DistroTube, Chris Titus Tech. Awesome. Very good. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But a secondary channel called Switch to Kitchen, where you teach us how to not starve, aka cook. Lewis, I already have that. It is called Home Cooking Hacks. Can some of the mods drop the link in there for Home Cooking Hacks? Yes, I already have that. I was going to release the apple pie video last week, but the footage was horrible. So what I ended up doing is I recut to make homemade tortillas as an isolated video, pulling it out of the taco video. And then I also recorded buffalo chicken. And then next time I actually meander to a store, which I still don't have to do for another 2 or 3 weeks based on my current food levels, I'm going to buy more apples and I'm going to re-record the footage of the apple pie because, man, is it amazing. And since I already have the video stuff prepped up, it's just a matter of recutting the footage and throwing it back on there. So, yeah, it's called Home Cooking Hacks. Already have it. All right. Apparently, Arnold Schwarzenegger, mini donkey, and pony that lives in his house like oatmeal cookies. I don't have oatmeal, so I'm not making oatmeal cookies. Wife is baking cookies, too, on the weekends. House smells so good. All right. All right, Anna Rita, does your wife have a vote? Peanut butter or butterscotch chip? Thank you, Vince. Free internet. Free internet comes with area here. When banks are closed, they have no issues with us piggybacking on their hotspots. What we have to do is not be on during normal business hours. All right, there you go. Oh, no-bake cookies are amazing. I will do no-bake cookies eventually. I have an amazing recipe for those. I just don't buy oatmeal often enough. I'll have to go get me some oatmeal. And more peanut butter. Hopefully peanut butter is stocked back on the shelf. I don't know. Has anybody actually been to a store in the last month? I have not. I'm actually going, I think I am on... Yeah, I think this week will mark 1 month's time since I've been in a store, and I don't have to go in a store for a while yet. It's not that I'm afraid of all this stuff. It's that, screw you. I'm not wearing a mask. You want me to wear a mask in your store? I'm going in like this with a grapefruit on my face, boys. That's it. Period. All right. So, yeah, the cat just ran away. Kitty, kitty. Kitty, kitty. Kitty. No, I'm not getting the kitty treats out yet. But you will come up if you want to say hi. You want to come up? Come here. Come on. No, I'm not going to mask you. I won't mask you up. There you go. Yeah, there you go. You can have the cat pad. Need to plant onions. There you go. Peanut butter. We got to vote for peanut butter. Vampires? No, that's garlic. All right. Hard drive for an older HP Pavilion for a new client. There you go. Oil cookies. Oh, we got peanut butter. I don't have chocolate chips. I actually do have M&Ms. I could do M&M cookies, but I'm waiting for that. I'm not going to open the M&Ms until I'm ready to make ice cream. I'm going to use half of them for cookies and half of them for ice cream. But since I'm not going to the store, I'm not making ice cream anytime soon either. Literally the only desserts left in the house. I have enough to make 4 or 6 apple turnovers, so I can make apple turnovers. And I can do a series of cookies and hot fudge cakes. I could do stuff like that right now, based on the stuff that I have. Doing cloud-based router management is because sheeple don't understand what an IP address is. That's right. That's right. Total lack of security and privacy is dangerous. Move by Comcast shows a total disregard for it. Cat loves the stream. All right. I hope your monitor's okay, man. Trying Microsoft 365 for a month. There you go. Peanut butter, she says, yelling from the kitchen. All right. Well, we'll see what we do. We'll see what we do. Mom and I made flourless peanut butter cookie chips. Nice. Tell you what, if you want to make a snickerdoodle cookies, if you have some, Throw in about the last quarter or so of the flour as almond flour. It is the most amazing cookies ever. My cat literally just meowed at your cat. Meow, meow, meow. Oh, boy. Got a hillbilly fiddle, dude. The violinist, all right. No, you're not a doctor, but we're living in a day and age no longer trust doctors by default. Actually, I am a doctor. Yes, I have a PhD. Well, jealous I can't pick up my cat. Hates it no matter how much I pick him up. Oh, this one likes it. The other one likes being picked up. She just doesn't like cameras. Needs some new sticky date pudding right now. Yeah, I do have a little bit of vanilla pudding right now. Relative is experiencing severe chronic pain all day long. Ooh, that's not good. Just found my Windows Ultimate Vista Ultimate disc. Nice. As far as chronic pain type stuff, off the top, no. If you've already been to a couple different doctors, I assume you've been to a couple different doctors, ask a few of them. Now, if it's chronic pain and it's being difficult, one thing you could check for is Lyme disease. That's a disease that gives you body-wide chronic pain, and it's hard to detect, but persistent Lyme disease can do that. Yeah, I'm not that kind of doctor. I know. All right, let's doctorate in what? Molecular toxicology. Technically, my actual degree says integrative biological sciences with an emphasis in molecular toxicology. I think that's what it says. We changed it. What was the thing? Because when you get into graduate schools, they do all sorts of weird hierarchy things. Technically, it's molecular toxicology. So poisons, cancers, and mechanisms and things. Homemade Oreos. I've experimented with homemade Oreos. They didn't turn out well, but they did actually make excellent ice cream sandwich casings. All right, kitty. I'm going to put you down for now because we are going to jump on into the dystopian news. I've only accidentally almost blown up the house once or twice, but it was tech related, not chemistry related. Turns out some cell phones glue their batteries in way too much. All right, let's go ahead and dive on in, shall we? Where'd it go? There we are. Welcome back to the Weekly News Roundup. This is the Dystopian Edition. And if you like dystopia, I have a new book that's coming out. I did push up the date to May 19th. That would be about 11 more days from the time I am recording this. And if you've not been on over to the website lately at synaptology.com or tlm.li/s, you can now come over here and read the whole first chapter of the book, see if it piques your interest. And you can listen to the audio preview, which is the first part of the first chapter of the book. So this guy's up here. You can jump on over here. In 1 week, I will be sending out another follow-up newsletter where we will have coupon codes and a place to pre-order the book. And then we're going to push the book out, get the pre-orders in, and I will ship those books out as soon as they get here. Note that because of the current world situations that we're about to talk about, the printing is delayed a little bit, although it will be orderable from a lot of places. Starting around the 19th, it's going to be a soft rollout. My guess is it's going to be on my store probably before that as a pre-order. It'll probably show up on Amazon right about that time, and it's going to show up in other bookstores probably 3 to 5 days after that. So head on over to the website and get more information about that. And if you have not... if you want to get some samples of it, you can now read the first chapter and listen to the first part of the first chapter. So let's go ahead and dive on into the news, shall we? What's going on in dystopia world? Apparently we have ads. There you go. So this is from CNN, and exclusive: Uber will soon require drivers to wear face coverings in the U.S. Oh man, does that mean we have to put on a face mask? All right. There we are. Now we have a face mask on. I'm not going to do that, though, because that's going to make it very hard to hear the news. This is not the green screen you're looking for. All right. That is my grapefruit mask. I love it. Smells very citrusy. So basically, as we go through, anytime Uber's now operating, they're going to require everybody to be wearing a mask. I'm really totally surprised that they haven't already done this, although it could be because their ID check system will very frequently ask the driver to verify who they are by looking into their app and getting their face scanned. So I'm guessing that they were probably working on figuring out if you're really you under that mask, or if some crazy psycho has really taken you hostage and is now driving people around town. That actually happened once. An Uber driver went mad once. I forget what city that was, or state even, but he would pick up a few Uber rides, drop them off their place, go on a shooting spree, spray down several people, put the guns down, pick up a bunch more people, very courteously drive away. It was like crazy. It was crazy. But now Uber is requiring that of everybody. Now, if you're like, well, I'm not in the U.S., I'm like over here in France. Anybody from France here? I'm over here in France, and I'm not worried about all this. Well, you guys got to be really careful, because over there in France, they're using AI to check whether people are wearing masks on public transport. Now, they're saying that the technology won't be used to punish individuals, but now they are. This is just a switch away from being persecuted in a way. And so over here, we have their surveillance system is going to be looking at all the various people. They're going to be measuring the amount of folks that are actually taking advantage of this. Software already has been deployed elsewhere in the country. Elsewhere, huh? Elsewhere! Being a 3-month trial in the central... I'm sorry, guys. I'm not going to try and butcher your cities. Station of Paris this week, reports Bloomberg. French startup Data K Lab. I don't know, whatever that is. Data KA Lab, whatever that is, which created the program, says the goal is not to identify or punish individuals who don't wear masks, but to generate anonymous statistical data that will help authorities anticipate future outbreaks. We're just measuring this one objective, they said. The goal is to publish statistics of how many people are wearing masks every day. And it's very easy, like I said, it's very easy to, down the road, just throw in the thing in there to, just kind of throw in the idea there to just start collecting the data. Why not? Why not, right? So with all that being said, what do you guys think? Is this going to be used for bad, used for good? I don't know. What do you think? UK is starting to unroll its tracking app. We'll call it the Plandemic app. UK will start testing its Plandemic tracking app this week. NHS will pilot the app on the Isle of Wight. And the thing about this one that caused a little bit of controversy is they are rejecting the Apple and Google decentralized approach. Instead, the NHS's technology group, NHSX, chose a centralized model in which the list of contacts made via Bluetooth signal will be stored on the user's devices as anonymous tokens. If a user has symptoms or tests positive, the contacts will then be submitted to the app, which analyzes the data and sends notifications if necessary. Critics say the centralized approach raises privacy concerns. Their CEO told Reuters that the group put privacy right at the heart. What does that even mean? Privacy right at the heart. We're not going to abuse this data. Yeah, but your low-level paid employee who paid $500 by an Indian hacker will. The hacker who just kind of figures out the security vulnerability gets in, because we all know government is very well competent to maintain their connections. All right, he explained that the app doesn't know who users are, where they are, or who they've been near. Britain's Information Commissioner pointed out that the centralized approach will allow UK to gather more insights into the pandemic, something a decentralized approach might limit. So they're doing it to collect more data on what's going on. So that is what we see over there. And on to our last article that I want to spend quite a bit of time on. Now, this is from the Wall Street Journal, so I had a friend send me the text of the article here. So with this, I mean, hey, I turn off the ad blocker and show the video over here, but Wall Street Journal, sometimes they let you see the article, sometimes they don't. In this case, they didn't. So, welcome back to the office. Your every move will be watched. This is the nightmare dystopia that's not being pushed in the levels in China. This is being pushed here in the United States. And this is what we have to be careful of, that it's not though the government is not the ultimate arbiter of the insanity, it's the technocrats and the companies. And that's always been the thing we're at the most risk from, because we have this turnkey thing where the government can't get the data directly from you, but they can get it from a third-party source. So are we 1984, the government oppression, or are we Brave New World, where we've bought into it for the conveniences of our lives and the joys and the pleasures in our lives? And in this case, what we're starting to see is it's somewhere in between. It's like forced on you because sure, you could you could choose not to, but if you were to choose not to, I'm sorry, you just have to collect money on the government dime, and even they're probably going to be tracking you as well. Because what's going to happen is you have to have a job somewhere, and if enough companies adopt these things, no matter what you do, you're going to be giving up your rights just to do the simple thing to work and support a family or just yourself. So many Americans heading back to the factory and the office as the pandemic eases will soon begin to notice that their every move is being watched or recorded. I'd say watched and or recorded. In Midtown Manhattan, thermal cameras will measure body temperatures as employees file into a 32-story office tower at Rockefeller Center. The building's owner, RXR Realty, said it is also developing a mobile app for tenants to monitor and score how closely their workers are complying with social distancing. So here's the situation. First and foremost, are these body cameras super effective? It would depend on the camera. Now, my mother works in a hospital, and she said it drove her crazy because when she showed up to work, and for a while the hospitals had to put in all these protocols, like every single time she passed by the checkpoint, she had to answer all these questions about, have you been in a crowd larger than 100? Have you had a fever? And then they had to scan the temperature. After 30 times in a single shift, passing by the exact same person, answering, and it wasn't like, oh yeah, I remember you. Yeah, you're good. Hey, let's just check your temperature again. Why not? Every single time she left the wing and came back to the wing a minute or two later, they had to ask her the same exact questions every time. And take the temperature with a little temperature gun. So one time she's like, this is crazy. So she goes and she gets her nice hot coffee and holds it up to her forehead for about a minute and walks up and takes it down. And her forehead is very hot. And she shines across and the temperature still reads out normal. She goes, your thermostat's not working. He says, I know. It just doesn't work. I don't care. All right. But they had to use the temperature. Every time somebody came by, they had to have a record of the temperature from the temperature gun. And that's kind of what they're doing here. So every person who comes in, so we have a big company-owned building. Inside the building is a series of tenants who are businesses, and the tenants have employees. So now the realtor is making sure that everybody who comes into the building is scanned for their temperature, but they're also going to be requiring the tenants to push out an app to all their employees so that the app can determine if you're close enough to other people and not socially distancing, which, by the way, is newspeak. Newspeak. How do you become social and be distant at the same time? Peace is war. War is peace. Come on. Come on. All right. So in this, he says how closely they're complying. Let's see. PricewaterhouseCoopers, that is Too many people have bought and sold that company. LLP said it's preparing to launch this month a phone app for employers that traces contacts by analyzing workers' interactions in the office. More than 50 clients have expressed interest, including some of the nation's biggest banks, manufacturers, and energy companies. Of course, because they're going to be able to track everything that you do. Advertising agent, Interpublic Group of, I'm going to call that chaos, it's cost, but is exploring dividing its 22,000 U.S. employees into 3 separate groups according to perceived health risks. Oh boy, which could include age. Oh, you older folkies, you're a high-risk groups. Workers could be asked to disclose medical and other personal information about themselves, and in some cases, family members. Family members. Oh, you have a son at home who is asthmatic? You know what? That's not your employer's business. They haven't signed off on the system yet, but it's definitely on the front burner, he says. Vigilant Protective Health Services. How much you want to bet that that's a brand stinking new company? Vigilant Protective Health Services. Let's get in on this cash. Which is advising Interpublic. Interpublic says it only began the preliminary discussions. It's a reasonable approach if you can get through the operational and some of the privacy and regulatory issues. Get through. This is business talk for, we have these regulations are standing in our way. How do we get these regulations off the books, push past them so we can push what we want regardless? That's what they're trying to do. That's why I stick by. This entire thing is happening in the purpose of pushing our rights off of us. Many office workers have become used to widespread security cameras after September 11th. Ooh. The arrival of pandemic is taking surveillance to a higher level, with some employers planning to track movements and gather personal information. All right, I'm not going to read the rest of the article. I want you to go through, but there's a lot in here about tracking the employees. There's a lot in here about some freaky stuff. Now, as one company comes out and says, yeah, we trust our employees. We don't really want to do that. We might take their temperature coming in, but that's about it. There was another one here. I'm going to find in the article, but there was another one where they're saying, hey, here's the app. You put it on your phone. Like, okay, understand. You put an app on your personal phone that your work requires you. And in the morning when you're getting ready for work, you have to sign into the app. You have to provide a facial ID to make sure it's you, and take your temperature on app and show them your temperature on the camera. And then it will be checked off by the human resources. And then they're going to give you a pass that you can come in and work for the day. Now, all you people that have been out here saying, it's conspiracy theory, man. That's like this guy here. He's just wearing himself a tinfoil hat there. All you people understand this has been the plan from the beginning. This is dangerous stuff. This is dangerous precedent, and we have to take a stand. Okay? Whatever happened to here in America, we can take our own risk on ourselves. We can sit down and say, I understand this is a high-risk job. This is a low-risk job. I can decide that if I want to go be on dangerous jobs and go crab fishing in the Arctic, it's a very dangerous job. If I want to sit here and do the things I'm doing now, I risk a serious case of carpal tunnel. Okay? It's carpal tunnel. I know why I said corporal tunnel. He's coming for me, I guess. Anyway, different jobs have different risks, and different people can choose those risks. And I don't want this surveillance state where I have to sign into an app and show you my facial ID and prove that it's me and take my temperature so you can give me a pass to let me come to work today. This is insane. This is insane. And if we don't start pushing back, then these corporatists up here who are trying to push through the privacy regulations, that these are things, if you can get through the operational and some of the privacy and regulatory issues, this would be great. No, tell these fools you can't have it. These are for us. These are for us. We are in dystopia. Welcome to dystopia. We are letting fear push us in that direction, and we should not be doing that, people. We should not be doing that. Let me know your thoughts on this and the other articles in the comments down below. All right, let's see, where are we at here? We got Sillyville's up next, guys. Sillyville's up next. Okay, oh, we got some comment from France. All right, over there on Discord, let's see. Closing down streets to all traffic in big cities due to the curriculum vitae. Oh, boy. In France, and didn't even know about this AI thing. This is the center of Paris, very close to Notre Dame Cathedral. There is a lot of people in that place. Also one of the biggest subway stations in Paris. Very cool. All right. Can't find a solution, have her get a blood panel, and not the simple one they usually do, but a full hormone panel for females that works, yeah. Got here, so I don't know what your discussion regarding contact tracing being rolled out by Apple and Google. The short version is it's very privacy respecting. Not based on what I just reported. That down it's from Tix, right? Yes. Check out fairly recent episode of Security Now podcast. I have examined this quite thoroughly. It is dangerous. It is Apple and Google trying to seize more control and bake stuff into your phones for their own good. That's not a good thing, dude. Yes, and I have done my own research into it. All right. Okay. Pork meat going to roast in the oven tomorrow for 1 hour. Ooh. Possible tornado in Texas. We got snow today. It's possibly snowing right now. I just can't see out a window right now. You heard about Upload, the TV series on Amazon, where people upload the brain to a man-made computer heaven? Yes, I did. I did not see it in that context, but there's a guy that's actually planning on being on the independent ticket for president this year, and he bills himself. Oh, I forget what he says. I think he's a transhumanist, where the idea is that we upload our consciences onto the AI, and then we can eventually 3D print our bodies and put our consciousness back into our 3D printed bodies and live on as cyborgs in the cloud. That's his plan. Can you wear a Guy Fawkes mask? Yes, why not? Hey, I saw somebody in a pure flat out voodoo mask last time I was in the store. Wearing a mask while driving, a red light camera grabs you doing something nefarious. I suppose they would have a problem prosecuting you unless you have a sweet face like Mike Tyson. There you go. I don't think the plate matters. Owner may not necessarily be the driver. Yeah. Have a cell phone that works without Bluetooth. The next step. You've been warned. Yep. Is Bluetooth mouse for my laptop, but then I thought Bluetooth is not secure. 1984 society is based upon fear. The most taboo part of the story is when Winston feels love. Yes. And that's where we're at. We are being pushed so much fear. We have so much fear, like I said, if you didn't catch it. Dude, there was a dude who took his garbage to the dumpster wearing a mask yesterday. Why? Saw two people, presumably a husband and wife, walking through the woods the other day wearing a mask. If I were a pimp, I might want to track my employee movements. That's right. I wanted to keep the tinfoil hat on, but it completely messes up the green screen. Line between dystopia and Sillyville is blurring to you. Yeah, it's getting there, isn't it? Fair security now also advise people not to run an AV. Yeah. Not going to work, the data grab. All right. About plotting our brains into 3D bodies sounds like a Black Mirror episode you saw. It might be. Oh, those guys also, the transhumanists, he would also like to revoke churches. Get this. He wants to revoke churches' tax-exempt status and use the money that churches do to bring Jesus back through genetic modeling so that we will have Jesus among us on earth. The guy's basically a lunatic. Just letting you know. All right, are we ready to descend into Sillyville? What do you think, Kitty? Sillyville? Let's go to Sillyville. Welcome back to the Weekly News Roundup. This is the Sillyville edition. Are you ready to dive on into Sillyville? Well, if you like this channel and you'd like to help support us, have a look at our affiliates page. If you're looking to pick up something new, we have web hosts, VPNs, podcasting stuff, grammar checkers, cell phones, generic shopping. Anything that you click on one of the links, your sale will, your price will still be the same, but they'll send a small portion of the sale back to us, except for my pro writing aid link in there. That actually gets you a 20% discount. So with that, let's go ahead and dive on into the Sillyville news. First and foremost, the candidates can't campaign, so they're trying to go viral. Nothing is more exciting than a 70-plus-year-old politician trying to go viral on the internet. I didn't even read the article. Based on the headline alone, this is Sillyville. This is Sillyville. You can't make something go viral. The more you make something go viral, the more lame you happen to look. But anyway, all of the campaigners here are trying to go viral. I know who he is. He's whatever. I stand ready to work with the president. I'm never going to work with the president on whatever. And I don't know. Guess they're trying to do, that's an ad. I guess they're just trying to do provocative things, trying to, just kind of trying to go viral. Guys, the more you try and go viral with something, the less it's going to be. This is, by the way, the only article I didn't read. I just love the headline enough. I didn't want to spoil it by reading it. All right, anybody over there in UK? Over there in UK, if you guys, particularly network guys, blacklist and whitelist terms are now banned by UK cybersecurity agency because they're racist. Check, please. I want out of the race. Now, I'm really curious. QuidSub. If you haven't watched QuidSub stuff, awesome content over there. He's also the developer for, it's not Pi-hole, NoTrack. Very similar to Pi-hole. So the NoTrack system uses whitelist and blacklist, and I thought he's from the UK. QuidSub, if you watch the video, does this affect your project? I'm curious. So, yeah, you can't use blacklist, whitelist. I mean, that's just racist. Most people understand what these mean. Okay, what do you call them? I mean, really, what do you call them? Let's see if they actually told us. There's a bunch of spam in there. There's an issue with the terminology. It only makes sense if you equate white with good, permitted, safe, and black with bad, dangerous, forbidden. That's right. That's right. There are some obvious problems in this, they wrote. Wait, NCSC Emma W. That's not Emma Watson, is it? Experimus! All right. In the name of helping to stamp out racism and cybersecurity, we will avoid this casually pejorative wording on our website in the future. The alteration to the terminology was prompted by a request from a customer who asked if the agency would consider changing the wording on its website. The open source browser engine Chromium, which used in Chrome, Edge, Vivaldi, and others, also depreciated terms like whitelist and blacklist after being asked to do so by Microsoft engineers. This is why Microsoft needs to stay as far away from Linux as possible. Academic study from the University of Limerick claims such terms as blacklist, whitelist, and black sheep do not merely reflect a racist culture, but serves to legitimize and perpetuate it. What is this? A bunch of group of pansies? All right, I got to see the comments. I got to see the comments on this one. The new term seems fine to me, but I'm interested in an etymologist's opinion of the origin of blacklist. The ones I'm familiar with are not related to race, and why would they be? Why would anyone need a list to identify skin color? I'd put even my money on it. Did I miss what they're calling it? I miss what they're calling it. Apparently it's not in here, but apparently they're changing the name to something else. I don't know. Let's have a look at a few more of these comments. I'm sure Billy Bones of Treasure Island will be gratified to receive the deny list instead of the black spot. There you go. I guess it's a deny list, allow list, and deny list, I guess. The hell is this idiocy? But can it get any worse? It can, and it will, unless the silent majority finally has enough and flips the bird to the leftist cry bullies. I hope to live to see their day treated like the mentally ill pariahs they are. Very interesting. Because UK government is a bunch of bleep heads. One look at how badly they fumbled the pandemic situation, and the highest death rate next to the US just says it all. Interesting. Racist hypocrites should be booted from their jobs. UK is the gold standard of PC culture and are excellent at wasting taxpayers' money to do so. All right, I'm not going to read any more of this, but that's just, I don't know. Billy Mitchell's libel case over Donkey Kong cheating scandal is set for July. This guy is still on and on about being called a cheater. You cheater. No, I'm not a cheater. And so he is taking his court case up and up and up and up to be renamed the Donkey Kong champion. If you keep on not shaving, dude, you might look like Donkey Kong. No, that's just a fun joke. Actually, he does seem pretty clean cut to me there. Clean cut in that his beard is nice and trimmed. That's a respectable beard. It's nice, it's trimmed, it's clean. All right, he looks fine. All right, but anyway, according to newly discovered court records, Billy, the King of Kong, Mitchell, has had a defamation case against Twin Galaxies moving quietly through the judicial system for over a year. Case stems from the ousting of Mitchell and the scrubbing of his records from the Twin Galaxies website in 2018, and a judge will hear the case in July. The basic point is that they said that based on the video that they saw of the play, he was using an emulation software and not the official arcade version, and that makes a difference. And they could tell that because of how the transitions went or things like that. So interesting to see what would happen with that. But yeah, that's definitely an interesting. I mean, at some point in time, all right, what is this? Is this your life's work to master Donkey Kong? So you have to tie up our court system with court cases going through appeals so that we can have a judge actually sit on a bench and go, I have to sit down and hear a case about Donkey Kong. Really? Get over it, sir. Get yourself a real job and move on to life. Says the YouTuber in the spare office in the room. All right. Apparently this article has been updated since I added it to my list, but Frontier will charge $89 for social distancing on flights because we're going to penny everything out. We want you to be safe. Pay us $90 more or we're going to put you next to a snot-nosed and nasal dripping fool. I'm telling you, because the airline industry can monetize literally anything. So the update following public outcry, Alexa, I'm shocked. There was public outcry. Alexa, order unicorn meat. Confirm. Following public outcry and under pressure from members of the Congress, Frontier late Wednesday rescinded its plan to charge a fee for more room seats. Quote, We recognize the concerns raised that we were profiting from safety, and this was never our intent, says the CEO. Guys, I should go to Frontier and say, hey guys, I don't really care. You're allowed to put me next to somebody else if you want. I mean, I don't really give a crap. So, what fool in the boardroom thought to even greenlight this? Hey, I got a great idea, guys. All these guys, we're already the master of upselling everything. I got another upsell. We are going to upsell more room on the plane. So this way, somebody can actually pay extra money and we'll give him like 3 rows instead of 1 row. What do you guys think? This looks amazing. Let's do this. $90. That's it. $90. Were these guys so foolish that they couldn't see this coming? Really? So, yeah, everyone being told to social distance, everyone told to wear masks. Frontier says, yeah, you want social distancing? Cough up more dough, buddy. You cough up more dough or we're going to put Bruno, the coughing fool, right next to you on the plane. Hi, I'm Bruno. Excuse me, I've had this cold for a little bit. I'm having a hard time breathing too. Pay $80, sir, and we'll move you. Day of the flight, it's $250. So apparently they decided to do away with that. That's exciting. All right, so you wanna go and tweet out about Frontier doing all this kind of stuff. You want to write nasty stuff. Well, Twitter is going to give you a warning message that asks you to rethink offensive tweets and replies. Revise the tweet before you post it. You put in something that Twitter thinks it's saucy. When things get heated, you may say things you don't mean. To let you rethink a reply, we're running a limited experiment on iOS with a prompt that gives you the option to revise your reply before it's published if it uses language that could be harmful. Wah! I talked about adding something to my blacklist and they thought it's offensive and racist. Because that's how Twitter is. So yeah, approach isn't novel. It's been used by quite a few other social platforms before, prominently on Instagram. Facebook on app now warns users before they post a caption with a message that says the caption looks similar to what others have been reported prior to the change. Instagram rolled out a warning system for comments last summer. Yeah, there you go. That's all we need. Twitter trying to police a little bit more. Oh boy, oh boy. And I guess on to our final story of the day. What is all that buzz about? Well, if a COVID outbreak is not good, is not fear enough, maybe the murder bees will be enough to get you. The murder wasps, really. So University of Arkansas is overwhelmed with calls asking about the hornet. Are they going to kill us all? And so with this guy over here, the murder hornet is a new, it's a bee that's over in Asia. It's not something we've generally seen here, but we've had 2 confirmed cases in Washington. Pizza, if you're on, man, sorry, you're going to get murdered by the murder wasp. Or murder hornet, I guess. So up there in Washington State, 2 cases have been found. 2 of the bees have been found. Of course, since everyone's all stuck inside their house and the wild animals are taken over, we're all going to descend out of quarantine and go, oh, and then get descended by a bunch of murder hornets. We're gonna die. And so now everyone's all getting concerned about these. Now, what these things particularly do, they're not specifically any more aggressive to us, but what they do is they have they're huge. They have a stinger about the size of a thumbtack, and they love pushing it in, and it contains about 5 times the venom as normal bee stings. These actually do kill people, so that is a concern. Primarily, they kill honeybees, which is a huge problem because our bee populations are already hurting around here. And the farmers in Arkansas are really concerned about their honey farms. And, I got the funny story about this. I don't think it was there. I think it was either in Virginia or Maryland. This is back about a decade ago, back when I was doing geocaching. Some moron put in a type of geocache where you'd have to go to a location, pick up a clue, and then go somewhere else. Their clue was literally on a beehive in a beehive farm. And I had no idea what it was. So you go there and there's just a thing and a rock. And this is geocaching. So literally in geocaching, you're like, hey, it might be under the rock. I lift up the rock. It's a bee nest. Needless to say, I marked that geocache for evaluation saying, hey, the exact geolocations is actually on a commercial beehive. I got the clue, run! And then I did find the geocache. It was like 60 meters that way or something. I guess maybe that was a thing. Ah, run down the path. Oh, there it is. But anyway, back to the murder hornets. University of Arkansas's Department of Agriculture keeps on getting calls about people concerned about this. And they're saying, guys, yes, despite there being a couple cases in Washington state, if they make it Arkansas, it's going to be a long, long time. So up there, though, if you happen to see one of these guys, it's like a 2-inch wasp. Here's a picture of it. It's like a 2-inch wasp with huge mandibles. It basically decapitates the bees. It looks like, I mean, it's huge, distinctive, very bright, big yellow face. These things are like 2 inches long. Easily taken out with a tennis racket. Whack! Kill them if you see them, is what I'd probably say. Help the population out. And it's actually, someone posted on the Discord server, I believe. Where's it at? I think it's, is under Sillyville, I think. I think someone posted under our Sillyville tag on Discord. We actually had a picture. Yeah, it's over there. It's on Twitter. Sam McLeod posted, if you're on the Discord server, have a look at the Sillyville section. There's actually a video of a praying mantis eating the murder hornet. Let's see if we can actually find that. Praying mantis eating murder hornet. Very fascinating video. It was very nice. Maybe it was on this CNET video. Let's see. No, I want the whole video. No, I want the whole video.
I knew about this last year.
All this talk about murder.
I don't want the news report. I want to see the actual video. Are you not going to show me the actual video I'm looking for? This is why news stations are crappy. All right. If I can find it. That's the Distractify. If one of you guys can find that and throw that in the link, I'll pull it up. We'll wrap up this show here. All right, so there's our Sillyville edition. Let me know your thoughts on these and the other stories in the comments down below. All right, I wanted to wrap that up. Everyone's talking about it and says, oh, video shows this. Like, okay, fine. Want to stop reporting on it and actually show me the video? That would be a cool thing. Is it here? This one might be it. No. This one it. Tweet is unavailable. Anybody's listing it there. Is it not available anymore? Let's try and play it on Discord again. Unfortunately, I'm running Discord on a different video. know. Apparently it's not there anymore. That's interesting. Well, it was a fascinating video when I saw it. All right, let's see. Let's jump on back up to live chat. Can you actually watch it, though? Because every time I'm clicking it, it says the page doesn't exist. All right, let's see. Consciousness into new bodies, altered carbon. Yeah, guy needs professional help. Yes, he needs professional help. He doesn't need to be president of the United States. Mankind has been cut out from the reliable... Ooh, Sam found it on Discord. Let's see. Got 5V M Z Cap Av SWR 4HO. Hopefully I got that right. That's not the one I was thinking it was.
This is a real thing. An invasion and potentially deadly...
That's not the one I was thinking it was, but... yeah, the one I was looking at was a different one, but this one's definitely... This one's a more epic battle. The other one was the praying mantis is going... yeah. The praying mantis definitely won the other one. This one looks like the murder hornet might be winning, but I don't know. Let's see what happens here. Who you voting for? That's not the video I was looking for. This is the praying mantis actually grabbed, like literally just boom, picked it up, grabbed the thing down in the claws and ate its head. It was quite epic. All right. Yeah, that's the one I'm looking for. All right. XV PK 7E XX DUE. All right. Yep. This is the one. All right. Where's my web browser? All right. Are we ready for this one? This one's good stuff. Have a look at this one. Boom! He's got the stinger out. He's like, I'm going for it. Praying man, it's like, no, you ain't. Tasty. Makes me want them cookies, doesn't it? Gobble, gobble, gobble. See, we just need to increase the praying mantis population. Oh, yeah. Everything is racist. Man, these snowflakes need to rethink their thinking. Yeah. Okay. What's up is the best. So is DistroTube. Yep. We're well in newspeak. All right. TV show The Blacklist. I've never seen an episode just because, hey, I don't watch Netflix. Greetings, Dan. How's it going there? Microsoft's now been doing Edge on Linux. Yeah, I've been waiting for it to come out to look at it. Digital ain't so bad unless you don't understand it. What's next? Microsoft Office on Linux? Yeah. Adobe pretty much does not want to work on Linux. Some adults act like toddlers, yeah. $89 give me a break, so I need to pay them for them to do their job. Of course. You pay them, they still don't do their job. Frontier Ear is just as bad as Frontier Communications, I guess. Yeah. Oh, there's another praying mantis video, yeah. I pay $90 to be the furthest away from a loud, noisy kid I can get. There you go. I paid $20 for an extra 2 inches of legroom on these flying cattle cars. Yeah. Microsoft buys Ubuntu, then Linux Mint will abandon the standard edition and in favor. Probably. Laptop's running Kubuntu. Will I eventually need to switch to Manjaro? It's up to you, man. We need honeybees. Yep. Run Manjaro, so I'm actually trying to recover data now before I wipe her hard drive. There you go. Okay. Everyone's going to have to start wearing beekeeper outfits in public because of the murder hornets. Well, actually, standard beekeeper outfits, these guys can sting through. You need special reinforced beekeeper suits, which come from China, of course. I guess you mean try geocaching with map and compass. I've done it before. Yeah. Do some Manjaro. May never have to run Windows again. Washington, I've seen these things in Korea, and I'm on the lookout. Yep. Crepes with Windows is how they made everything programs I bought null and void by the next OS. Yeah. With the right lawyer, they could just be manslaughter hornets. That's right. boy. Okay, BSD can't be that bad. Isn't that bad? Used it before. The best cabling system in the world. Need to buy new ones designed for interfacing an internal drive for another computer. There you go. Jack took it down. Of course he would. Was that the guy? Never seen the first season of Altered Carbon? No, I haven't. Interested in me shooting a video on this very thing for my channel? Yeah, go for it, man. Sounds like a praying mantis murder hornet WrestleMania event is coming this time of no sports. That's right. Mantis likes deep brains. Yeah, he's a zombie mantis. Couple reasons to live in Canada. Thank God to live up north where we don't need to deal with giant insects. Pull product keys, many paid software also. I'm seeing the murder hornet video. Sorry, man. See you later, Moonbase. Last Kingdom on Netflix is good. Employees took down the Hornet tweet. I don't know. I don't know, man. Hey, I did so much biology. Something like that's just interesting. All right. Well, let's go ahead and feed the kitty cat. And then we'll jump on into... Go ahead and jump on into the end of the evening there. Oh, you're going to come over. Kitty, I was going to go ahead and... Kitty, come on. He's like, I heard you say I'm going to feed the kitty cat. Just got to find the full view again, though. All right, come on. Come on, bud. Come on up. How you doing? You get some kitty treats. Get you some kitty treats. Got one more for you, right there. Are your finger licking good? They are. They're finger licking good. Yes, they are. They're finger licking good, huh? You know it's the end of the show, don't you? Yes, you do. You know when it's the end of the show. All right, guys, we will wrap this one up here. May or may not be a stream tomorrow. We'll figure that out by tomorrow morning. So thanks for hanging out, everybody, and we will catch you guys later.